Hello everybody, I'm Allie and this is Little Bit, and today we're going to be working on some exercises to help you get your horse to back up better. Going backwards is a lot like going forwards, except you want to make sure your horse is rounded. You want your horse to try to pick up on their forequarters, which means that they're actually tucking their spine kind of up and rounded, and they're not getting straight. Now today we're using a shanked hackamore. Now with the shanked hackamore, the pressure needs to be straight back. You don't really want to curve over with it. And we're going to be using a combination of indirect and direct rein. Now direct rein is when you pull and you pull straight back, the horse gives you their head this way. Now indirect rein is neck reining. If you want to go to a one hand, you're going to start by putting the indirect rein over your horse's neck, just like that. So indirect rein is touching the horse on the opposite direction of where you want to go. Now when you're doing an indirect rein, you obviously don't want to pull your hand like way over on the side. You want to just keep it right there so you can bump that particular bit. And you also want to open your door with your foot. So you want to make sure that when I say open the door, I mean that foot is not putting in any pressure. Now, as far as buttons are concerned, buttons are going to be button number 1, which is in front of the girth. That moves the forequarters. Button number 2, that should move the entire rib cage of the horse. And button number 3, which is behind the girth, that moves the hindquarters. Okay, so what we want to do is subscribe and click that notification button. We are putting out new content every week. Backing exercise, because we want to be able to back up in a straight line. So we're going to look ahead. We're going to stop when our foot is a little bit past the end of the pole, and we're going to use it as a guide to go back. Now, we want to back off of our seat most of all. So we're going to squeeze and release with your butt. So squeeze and release, and you're also going to pull just a little bit straight back and release as well when you get a step. Now, if your horse's hind end is starting to go this way, you want to push it that way. So it's going to be tip the nose to that direction, and button number 3 to kind of even out. Now, ultimately, you want to be doing this while you're backing up to keep your back up a lot straighter. And ultimately you want to keep going back, back, back until your horse completely gives right there and she lifted. I can feel that lift, and then I can do button number 1. I'm going to do a turn on the hindquarters and walk off. Whoa. Button number 1 on the right, turn, and I'm going to come to the opposite side of my pole. I'm even now with this side of the pole, so I know she might want to move her hindquarters out that way. So my right foot is going to keep on button number 3 if I need to keep her straight. So it's back, pull and release, keep her as straight as possible. If she starts to move, I can move back. There we go. Good, good, good. This time I'm going to make a turn on the hindquarters to the left. So right button number 1, indirect rein, right rein, and just make a little circle. I like to do a back to a turn on the hindquarters. So this time we're going to come back, stop when my foot is even with the end of the pole, and let's ask for the straight back. So back, back, come on. You were doing so good. Come on, back, back, back. Squeeze and release with the seat. Squeeze and release with the seat. Button number 3 if I need to. Tip her nose to the outside if I need to. Good. That was much better. She started to dip her head and she started to go much straight. So I'm just going to give her a little break and say she did good. Now, turn on the hindquarters to the right, left foot, button number 1, and indirect rein. Button number 2, there you go. Turn around. We're just going to trot off with it. And while we're over here, we're going to use that indirect rein, button number 2, to see if she'll start to turn with a little bit of that indirect rein. We're going to come to the right side of our pole. Keep it straight, look forward, whoa, release, and ask for the back. We're gonna go straight back as possible. Come on, back, 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 back. It's just a little pressure. Come on, back off my seat, back, good girl. Come on girl, back, 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 come on. And that wasn't very nice, she kind of moved out. So I'm gonna come back around, and we're going to try that a little bit again. So anytime that it's a really bad one, you've got to end on a good note. So we're going to come up again. I know she might try to go towards the right, so I'm going to focus on making her back straight. Come on, back and release, off the seat. Sit back and release. Sit back and release, come on. A couple of good soft steps. See, I went a little bit more because I wanted her to give until I found a nice, good place to stop. Now, we're going to do a lot more of these until you can get a small goal of backing just with a short distance. Now, backing off the fence is a good way to try this as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's exercise. Joining me on today's pattern. And if you enjoyed it, please check out our playlist for patterns and obstacles. And remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe.